Cursed, oldest trick in the book.
Help me, Dandor.
Goblin, not falling for it.
Curses.
You cannot pass this way, traveler, unless you solve my fiendish riddle.
That's quite all right. This way's quicker anyway.
Ah, Dandor, champion of Pointington. You have made it through the perilous forest of dark evil. Many a traveller has...
Could you get a move on, please? I've got other stuff to do, you know.
Fine, let's see. Grave peril, singing gnomes of Elven Door, dark forces of ghastly doom. Ah, yes, your quest.
Yeah, my quest. What is it?
You must introduce this fantasy and roleplay themed episode of the NExUS.
What? Is that it?
And, I don't know, kill that goblin or something.
Sorry.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Right, coming up on this week's show, we take a look at gaming's weirdest weaponry and wizardry. Bring It Back gets covered in blood. No, I mean, blood gets covered in Bring It Back. We talk to the stout fellows behind the upcoming Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, and Epic Chronicles of the Fantastic. Right, quest complete. What's my reward? What was that?
Sorry, man, you rolled a 1. Explode.
Oh, God, this is rubbish. When's Skyrim going to show up?
This is better than Skyrim. What could be better than the power of the human imagination?
Skyrim?
Spellcasting. S-H-U-T.
This is rubbish. I want to check the post.
P. Yeah.
Cosplay, or as it used to be known, dressing up, is a great way to demonstrate affection for your favourite games, movies and comic books by creating costumes of your favourite characters.
Yeah, and what better place to do it than here at the MCM Expo in London, where some of the best cosplayers...
Sorry. What are you dressed as?
I think it's pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, you know, the space hero.
So we're down here at MCM Expo in London. Sorry, you had months to get your costume ready.
Yeah,
literally months.
Come on, I had to get two boxes. Not easy to come by, right. And then there's the scissors, they don't go on
We've
trees.
got a stationery cupboard, it's got like 30 pairs of scissors in it, literally 30 pairs of scissors.
Well, what are you
cupboard.
supposed to be, a Microsoft employee from the 16th century or something?
From Army of Darkness, it's the third Evil Dead movie.
Yay! Authenticity is paramount, so stay in character at all times.
No.
At all times. If you like your fantasy high, your game world's vast, and your scrolls elderly, then you really should be playing the Elder Scrolls games. Starting with 1994's The Elder Scrolls Arena, the series has been at the forefront of the fantasy genre ever since, culminating in 2006's Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, a game that proved so popular that we still have an entire Sent You a Message folder dedicated to questions about its sequel. And now, finally, that sequel is almost here. We caught up with a few of the team behind the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim to find out more about what to expect from this sword and sorcery epic.
Everything in Skyrim is about, the people who live there and the world itself. It's a more rugged, harsh environment, and we try to show that through all the creatures, the clothing, how they make their weapons, every little detail we can to make it feel like it's the home of the Nords. A lot of people really liked Oblivion, and it looks really good. And I think our main thing for us was how are we going to top that on the same generation console? So we have a whole new graphics engine, which allows us to draw a lot more content in the game, a lot more effects. We have dynamic shadows now, a whole new animation system. So we really put a lot into the game to make it look better than Oblivion did. We changed a lot with the characters in Skyrim. In Oblivion, they sort of blended together and they weren't very distinct between the different races. So in Skyrim, we started with a base character for each race that really defines the races and makes them different. And we added a lot more customization. You can edit every individual feature with the face, the noses, mouths, all these different facial features. You can add war paint, scars, tattoos, and you can also change your body size. So there's a lot of customization in this game. We hand create the entire world. All the landscape, all that is done by hand. Every dungeon is built by hand by our level designers, and then the artists go through and polish all the areas in the game. And then we spend a lot of time making sure there's interesting things to find no matter what direction you go in, and that certain things will lead you to other things, so you're constantly discovering things and being rewarded for exploring the game. I'm really impressed actually that how fun the game can be when you try a completely different play style. And I recently tried playing a conjuration mage, and you can summon dead creatures to be zombies to fight for you, and that's pretty awesome. We set up Skyrim so that you can play for a while and switch out which types of skills you like to use, and it's not going to be a penalty. So if you find you don't really like something, you can try out a different type of skill in the game and see if that works better for you. And then pay a lot of attention to the perks, because that's where a lot of the power is. So when you level up, you get to pick a perk, and those give you, new abilities and a lot of power.
So you see, my whole problem with so-called realistic games is they're crippled by the trappings of reality.
Well, yeah, obviously. What's your point?
Well, where's the imagination? It's, do I pick up the small gun that fires bullets slowly, or do I pick up the big gun that fires them quickly? It's dull. Why don't you have a flaming bow that fires little sharks or something?
Yeah, but if you give a game designer the freedom to come up with any power or weapon they can think of, you're going to get some really deranged creations.
Yeah, but I'm going to need to see at least 5 examples before I subscribe to your theory.
You're on.
Fine.
Your father was a handsome devil.
Oh, did I ever tell you about the dream I had where I shot a naked witch in the stomach and she turned into a guitar and then I rocked out?
Sounds kind of familiar. You sure it was a dream?
I'm pretty sure it's far too weird even for a game, surely.
True. Okay, you're given the ability to summon anything to destroy your enemies. What do you summon?
A toilet?
A toilet. Come on, anything.
Oh, you've put me on the spot now. I don't know. A giant mushroom.
Anything.
A fat chicken thing. I'm panicking now.
Look, if you're not going to take this seriously.
No, I've got it. A meteorite so powerful that it wipes out the entire solar system, but it isn't quite lethal enough to kill a few people.
What's the point in that?
I don't know. I haven't really thought it through, to be honest. It looks cool, though, doesn't it?
Yay!
Keep your group consistently themed.
No.
But not too consistent.
Web wonders!
Now, I have to confess, I'm not a big fan of teaser trailers. A bit of CG here, dash of concept art there, and then BAM! Logo. Yeah, thanks. Day one purchase right there.
For others, however, the mere suggestion of a new game's existence is enough to spur them on to, spend days creating an animation and composing a song to commemorate the occasion.
Of course, if you're as incredibly talented as YouTube sensation Harry Partridge, then the whole world benefits from your obsession.
In their tongue, he is Dovahkiin, Dragonborn. Holy shit! What is this? Forged in God's very flames. Do mine eyes tell me lies? A new Elder Scrolls game. Time is nigh. I must fly. Venture forth on my quest. Goodbye, Ma. Goodbye, Pa. And goodbye, girlfriend's breasts. I'll be off as a rough. Catch you later, Hyrule. I'll be gone. I'll be on. I'm no longer your fool. The crab filled the gap while I waited to begin the adventure of my life in the land of Skyrim.
If you'd like to check out the uncensored version as well as dozens of other incredibly funny animations that you probably shouldn't watch at work, head to the URL below.
In the next episode, we'll be looking at gaming's finest street gangs and thugs, so if you'd like to share something you found or created online with a gangy flavour, tweet us at NExUS, leave a message on our wall at facebook.com/XboxNexus or mail the nexus at live.co.uk.
Staffs are a bit rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah, do you go for the terror broadsword of ludicrous cleaving or the inadequate quarterstaff of mild concussions?
Exactly. The only way they can make them worse is if they were imbued with a curse that forced you to carry it permanently, slowed you down, and summoned up annoying little creatures that followed you everywhere.
That would be pretty terrible, yeah.
Bring it back.
As a genre, first-person shooters have never been more popular, with the likes of Call of Duty and Battlefield holding unswerving dominance over gamers' affections and wallets. However, with the notable exception of the likes of Bulletstorm and Rage, it can sometimes feel like a lot of the personality has gone out of the genre. In the late 90s, however, you could hardly shake a sawn-off shotgun at the game chart without seeing games like Blood, from the same pedigree as the hugely popular and successful Duke Nukem 3D. Where Duke Nukem set out to spoof action movie cliches and ended up being pretty sexist, and the other big build engine game, Shadow Warrior, set out to spoof martial arts films and ended up being extremely racist, Blood's target was B-movies, horror and the occult, the result being a gloriously fun mishmash of pop culture nods, movie quotes and even literary references. The first episode alone contained references to Edgar Allan Poe, The Fugitive, H.P. Lovecraft, the Evil Dead films, Big Trouble in Little China, Frank Sinatra, Blazing Saddles, and Monty Python. The game even poked fun at Duke Nukem's sexism in typically macabre fashion.
I got time to play with you. Oh, shake it, baby.
Added to this was the game's arsenal, which included the FPS staples of shotguns and machine guns, but added theme-appropriate weaponry such as a flare gun, pitchfork, bundles of dynamite, aerosol cans, voodoo dolls, and electric Tesla cannons. Now, we've had a recent lesson how not to update a classic 3D Realms FPS in the form of Duke Nukem Forever, but there's definitely scope for the likes of Blood to make a return. For one, there have been thousands of horror films, video games and B-movies in the last 15 years that are ripe for parody, as well as iconic weapons that Blood's protagonist Caleb could adapt to his own dastardly ends. Given to a developer with an understanding of the inherent ridiculousness of the genre, as well as a love of the subject matter, Blood could be a gloriously silly antidote to the seriousness of most military-themed FPS games, and we'd love to see some creative multiplayer modes in keeping with the genre, such as a slasher movie-style stalk mode, with one player as the Jason Voorhees of the scenario. If there's a game that you'd love to see get a modern-day overhaul, mail us at thenexus at live.co.uk, adding any ideas you have to bring it bang up to date.
Yay!
Effort is its own reward.
Oh.
Buying something from a merch stand is not.
Swords? Boards, more like.
Very droll. How would you liven up a sword then?
Well, my two issues with swords are one, they're generally far too wieldy, and two, they're sorely lacking in features that will make your opponent vomit.
So, what's your solution?
I'm glad you asked. One, make it so massive that you can only drag it around, and two, stick a big moving bloodshot eyeball smack bang in the middle. Now that's a sword.
What's wrong with you?
Yay!
Masking tape is your friend.
Yay!
Now seriously, go nuts.
Hey, this is Lester Spade. I'm here with NExUS, Xbox 360, having a good time. We putting it down for the pre-launch of Gears of War 3. I'm hanging out with my... Man, look at all that juice!
Get your own, Lester.
Bartender.
It still hasn't shown up.
Great, that means we can carry on. Roll, please. Oh my god, a haunted printer approaches!
This is so stupid.
Sorry, rolled a 1 again. Oh, actually, they're all 1s. Weird. See you next time, everyone.